good, but at a certain point, maybe after 4 or 5 drinks, then all of a sudden you're like, screw it, and you just don't care.
There's been a lot of close calls for all of us, but we haven't gotten raped or murdered yet. Alcohol slows down my thoughts, helps me catch my breath. I don't know what the limit is. I reach a point where I don't remember.
By drinking, it's a tornado. It's doing damage to everything around it. My wife, my kids.
It'd be nice if he could drink a little bit less.
These are all people I fucking love. I don't want to lose them.
When I slip, I can't really remember what went through my mind. All of a sudden, I'm drinking.
Yeah, shit. I'm going to die.
Halloween is like the biggest drinking night, at least in Denver. So this weekend we are doing 2 different costumes, and tonight I'm going to be Tinderella. Tinder is a dating app, and so a lot of cheesy pickup lines on there are, "You could be my Tinderella." So I'm going to be everybody's Tinderella. So we're going to head over to Amanda's, who's one of my best friends since college. We had a couple classes together. We're going to head over to her house and pre-party. After we go to Amanda's, we're going to go to the Gin Mill, which is all you can drink, unlimited booze, which is always dangerous. So we'll have to figure out how to pace ourselves on all you can drink, which is going to be the challenge of the night. So last year, I got out of a really serious relationship. Drinking definitely eases the dating world. I've been on very few first dates where you don't drink because it takes the edge off. The whole point in drinking is to turn off your brain for once. You're using it all day, every day. So it's nice to just turn it off, not think about anything, and just let go. Basically, I didn't drink all week, knowing I was going to drink a ton this weekend. So I figure it all balances out in life. Instead of having a glass of wine a night, I won't have any, and then I'll have like vodka. Let's be honest, probably like 10. It's okay.
Kenzie, now look everywhere. Oh God. They're not that strong. They're not that bad. Cheers. please hit. Let's cheers.
Cheers. Have a good night, okay?
Ready? Oh, like the worst pill you've ever taken. That's what he said. You had a shot here. There's an ice fish. Wait, I need to go on the ice fish. I don't like tequila. Alright, what do you want? Fireball, obviously. Did you see the study that says that they have antifreeze in Fireball? Yeah, I don't know. Talk about it. Alright, fine. Two Fireballs? Yeah, three. One for you? Hey, I have a vagina, not you.
Just hurts. And then you go home alone. Always. I'm so sorry you killed. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Because it should be able to be fun. Just have fun. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We gotta drink some water. Oh, you feel good tomorrow.
I'm not going to.
No, I'll lay down on the wet side of the bed.
No, I don't think I'm here. I don't think I'm here. I'm just gonna go to bed. I gotta sweep myself to bed.
Kenzie, you're on a diet. I don't know why you didn't hide these cookies. Seriously.
Because I'm on a diet and I need other people to eat them.
So how was last night?
It was really fun until it got weird. I just lost it. Waterworks, ugly crying.
Okay, I did that 2 weeks ago.
It happens. You know, you've seen that song and dance a couple of times. I'm so ready to have a good year. The last two and the binge shit. This year is partying after the breakup. Next year is me getting my shit together.
You're growing up.
Oh, I don't want to. I want to stay a kid. Why can't I be Peter Pan?
I met Kenzie 6 years ago. We tend to drink a lot on our nights off and just sleep wherever we end up. Really, kind of bad. We're alive. We haven't gotten raped or murdered yet.
Yeah, I'm so hungover right now. That's what I drank this morning, and then I woke up from my nap. Hungover is all hell. So here the dog again. Round 2, and it's Saturday. I usually feel pretty confident about my judgment, but after I got so surprised last year, I literally came home from a work trip on a Thursday, and he was done. You know, my ex. I want to make a giant meme with my ex's picture on it that says, you know, giving bitches trust issues since 2002 or whatever, because that's how I feel. It was that because last year I was like, all right, it's over. I need to get back out there. And, you know, sure enough, I get hammered and I'm like, all right, rip off the Band-Aid, just hook up with somebody, get it over with. And I ended up bawling mid hookup. It's stupid. I have successfully had sex now without crying now. That's exciting. Cheers.
You know, it's play hard, work hard, and you go out, and that's totally the norm. Here's mana freeze. You're learning shots, you're taking shots, you're encouraging each other, and it becomes kind of the way you interact with people.
Yeah, love you guys.
Making a fool of yourself is a downside, but you get used to that. That's what you do. It's just normal.
What am I gonna say right now? You're gonna be like, do that. Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel so naked though. Like, who has my everything? Hey, may I have this? Some of it?
No.
All of it? Aww.
Well, actually, the bar is shut down already.
Did you say thank you?
Everybody's leaving.
Wait, where is everybody?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I love you so much. You're hilarious. I didn't see for that day. I got laid twice. It was okay. Ugh, I don't like thinking about life or my experiences or anything. Hey, guys. Here, Kenzie. Are you having fun right now? Sure. Oh. I don't know if I'm happy. I can't trust anybody. It's fucked up. So fucked up. It's so fucked up, but I would rather like go find Pat right now so I can stop doing this.
Otherwise, I would go home and I would cry all night. The biggest cohort of binge drinkers are between ages 18 and 34. I think a lot of people worry, is this young adult going to turn into somebody with a chronic problem? The consequences literally go up like this, depending on the amount you're drinking and the frequency that you're drinking. Binge drinking for women is having 4 or more drinks in a single drinking episode, and for men it's 5 or more. And when you consume alcohol at that rate, your blood alcohol level gets up to be around 0.08 or beyond, which is the legal limit for driving. You're getting more impulsive, you have a hard time making good decisions. So this is a huge setup for accidents to happen, and they can be serious and life-altering. You've got increased risk of physical violence, sexual assaults, unwanted pregnancies. These are all things that really can change the course of your life in a single night. Young binge drinkers really underestimate how much it affects their overall quality of life. You know, they're fighting with their friends. There's lots of drama in their lives. They're breaking up with their boyfriend when they're intoxicated and regretting it the next day. So there's lots of suffering, I think, that goes on that is kind of whitewashed away because people think, oh, it's just fun. We're just having a good time. Things have changed in terms of how we think about alcohol use disorders. It used to be black and white. You either have the problem or you don't have the problem. The way we view drinking now is really on a spectrum of risk, and binge drinking automatically places you in the mild to moderate range if you drink more than you intend, have withdrawal symptoms, and find yourself craving alcohol. The reality is people have varying degrees of the problem, and they often cycle in and out, but there is a very small bunch that is way more at risk. People who are in heavy drinking crowds, so they've got lots of friends who are drinking in the same way. People who have a high tolerance for alcohol, and then people who drink in response to negative emotional states. So they drink because they're feeling down or they're anxious or they can't sleep. When you get a little wobbly, when you start to get a little sleepy, that's your natural braking system of your body saying, hey, I've had enough alcohol, stop drinking. And when people override that system and they keep drinking, those brakes, they're getting worn out so that you lose the ability to stop because you're just not in control anymore. So when you're trying to reduce your drinking, you've got to really find the point at which you lose control. And for most people, that's no more than 3 for women and no more than 4 for men.
Can I do another drink?
So what's the agenda for the rest of the day, boss? Some rum cocktails, get through the day.
That'll work out better for me, the SoCo, baby.
Yeah, dude, double Socos after a night in the hospital. I don't know if that was the best idea, especially while you're bleeding.
That's right, I was bleeding.
Yeah, you were bleeding. Yeah, it's fresh, right? It was a fresh wound.
Wait, so everyone poured a different color? That's cool.
There you go.
All right, which one has alcohol in it? That's the one I like.
I'll take one way. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man. Can you make it with real rum instead of the flavored rum has no alcohol in it?
I can do
Where
that.
the real rum has alcohol.
Pick your poison, bro.
I'm gonna go the red.
You're going red this time. I'm going green. Cheers.
I had to double.
You ready for another one?
Yeah, I'm ready for something. I don't know. Cheers, man. Weather-wise or anything else, if you had a bad day since we've been around, might have been a day we were here, we were ramen. Yeah, I struggle a little, but if we had a fucking bad day. It's like we're college roommates. Your mom wants you back. I want you to stay here. I had to talk to her about that. Why not? Everybody says, when you're fucking 60 and retired, you can't fucking walk. That's not the time to be down here in the islands trying to do your shit. It's figured out. So when you're 15 now, when you're 17, you get a fucking killer ass job down here instructing people, kiteboarding, making good money, and having the time of your goddamn life. That's what it's fucking about.
I've heard this speech 7 times.
No, lately, well, maybe 8 times now. I would assure you we don't have a drink with fucking island style, motherfucker. Hey, last one in the road. I'll bring it down if I have to. Don't forget to bring it up.
Be nice if he could drink a little bit less. He definitely drinks more down here. Rum's cheaper. We usually go in town every day in the Red Hook and get a 5th of rum. He usually goes through about that every day. It's interesting. I'm gonna walk in here every day, walk back to the house. He'll sit there and get drunk.
Looks like you're a golf on, dude. Music back on.
We'll go to the beach for a while, come back, he'll pass out for a while, wake up at like 10. It's usually like the everyday schedule here.
My son is kind of trying to go a caretaker for me. If I'm passed out on my bed, you know, I can wake up. My son, I've gotten up. He'll go into town on his own and get the rum, the coke, and the cigarettes. He takes care of me. I'm the adult. I'm supposed to be the one down here providing for him. But it hasn't worked out that way. He's ended up being my caretaker, and that's not right. You know, I don't want to lose everything here in my caretaker.
My son, who's been down here for a couple of weeks with me, is taking off. You know, it sucks. I want him down here because that's what's helping me get through things. I'm not here just by myself, but, you know, I can't be selfish and ruin the snowboarding trip. Prior to him coming down when I was here, I didn't leave my porch. I'd sit there, chain smoke, and party. When he's been here, it changed things. And, you know, I got out and did things, and we met people, and it, you know, made it fun. Gabe, come on, dude, get up. We got to go into town. We got to print your boarding pass.
It's too early.
Well, Sam's going to be here early because you got to go through customs, so we need to go. All right. But the island bug got you. You're going to be gone 2 weeks. You'll want to be back. Place always calls you back. No, you'll want to come back. Just to help you do. Two Camel Light.
You're wrong. All the people like dark, light, everything is wrong. You know what I mean? And this is the same.
The island.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your phone? Your charge? Safe trip. Okay. You be back in 2 weeks?
Yep.
That's all right. Why are you back? Get there safe, Sam. He's on Spirit. If you have any problem making your flight in, you call me, right? All right. I don't do good alone. It's nice to have your kids around. And over the past few weeks, I got to connect with them more than I really have over 15 years.
That's right. It's time to be with the day. You know that me. It's time for our famous ladies' night. Let's make it for tonight. What do you say? Here's the ball.
So yeah, what's up with your wife? She was here for, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. And one day we were at Sapphire Bar and Grill. We're down there drinking, and she went out by the pool, and I went in and made a tab. I come out, she's gone. So I walk up the hill to my condo, and she's like passed out in front of the door. So I get up there, kick her a little bit, and get up. And I open the door. And fuck, next thing I know, she got a knife in her hand, coming at me with a fucking knife. Yeah. I mean, look at shit.
No shit. Get out of here.
That's what it looked like when it happened.
Is that in the doctor's office?
No, that was when I was home. I kept putting Band-Aids on it thinking, I can stop this myself. No need for a doctor. God, everybody's like, she stabbed you. It's like, it's a drinking incident.
Yeah, it was a misunderstanding,
She stabbed me, grabbed her arm, trying to get the knife out of her arm, snapped her wrist. It scares me shitless that we're going to drink like that. We're going to be back together. One of us is going to have to. My life, I mean, it's a house of cards falling. I need to fix this fucking problem. I mean, I got my kids depending on me. I got my ex-wife, my wife, all kind of people depending on me. I want to fix it. Usually by the time somebody wants to get help, they're, no job, living in a trailer. I wasn't that way. I showed up at work every day, worked for a big company and, had a prestigious job and, was the on-air, co-host. I was filling when somebody was on vacations. I would never have a drink during the day. But then I started getting pulled into sales meetings and happy hours and it escalated. But then as things didn't go well at home, it escalated more, and it, was an easy escape. And I guess what's really hard is, finally had another relationship that I really wanted, and through drinking and other things, I fucked it up. I mean, and I don't want to see things go out of my life because I fucked it up. Well, she told me she won't talk to me tonight if I'm hammered, and so if I have something that's important to me, I'm gonna make it happen, and that's why I haven't drank anything today. I mean, a cold beer fucking tastes great right now. It's hot, but I'm still trying to be good. Hey, you.
Hey, I don't see you yet.
I'm on a slow Wi-Fi, so it should be coming out.
Imagine that.
So are you sure you want me to come back and stay with you in Denver? Well, I got a lot of work ahead of me to try to get all this shit fixed.
Well, there's a lot to fix, but,
I'm confident this program is going to work for me, and I do want to make changes. And it's kind of cool to sit, when I don't drink and, actually sit around and think about stuff, it makes more sense.
Why now? Why is it going to work now? What's different now?
Because I'm tired of throwing my life away. I want to be the guy that shit goes right for, not getting it, this far from right and something fucks up, I'm not chasing away the people I love.
Yeah, you know how I defined the 9 months with you? There's so much chaos. There was no peace. There was no thought other than the 911 crisis at hand.
Well, how about we work hard and get us both fixed?
They don't have rehab for idiots. They have rehab for alcoholics, drug addicts, pill poppers, people with eating disorders, but they don't have rehab for stupid motherfuckers that put up with their shit.
I love you. We'll get through this. I want to.
But how do we make it non-self-destructive?
Wear helmets.
That is not good.
We're gonna have fucking plastic utensils in the house, no knives.
There's your side of the story, there's my side of the story, and then in between is the truth. And I know I escalated things, and you escalated things. And then it just got to a point that I hope you were so drunk that you just kill me. I don't remember any good times. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. And you took every part of my life hostage. And yet I'm still here talking to you, and I'm still here wanting to help you, and I'm still here wanting to make sure that you're okay. And I'm not okay.
Well, I'm gonna be back there to see you and make sure you're okay. Look, believe in me that I'm trying on this, because I am. I do want to get better. I don't like the way things are.
You've never been a partner. You've just been another child.
I'm trying.
It'd be nice to see someone that's a partner.
And hopefully I can learn that. You love me?
I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Schoolgirl nerves. I just want to give him a hug. And then I want to kick him in the balls. So, how's that? Our relationship is batshit crazy. It never calms down. It's just always putting the fire out. It's self-destructive for me to support him. But now that he wants to get help and he is willing to make the change not based on anyone else's decision but his, is why I'm here. It's his decision. Wow. You're fatter and shit. You look so fat.
You're not going to remember where your car is.
Stop it.
You never know where the car is. We're going to walk the fuck around in circles looking for the car. You know.
Why you gotta call me out on my stuff?
I'm happy to be home.
This isn't your home. You haven't deserved it yet. Take your shoes off. Sure. Yeah. Okay, so we met. Things were great. When the kids were here all summer, you were amazing. We did everything together.
No, it was great. The kids were here.
Right. But then when the little ones went back east, Twisted Mike came out. It's like, because you never hit me before that. You never grabbed me. You never put me in the corner.
I've never had my nose broken my whole life.
Or your
You've
jaw.
broken it 3 times and my jaw.
Maybe you shouldn't back me in the corner. You got to understand what you're going to do and what you need to do is not just affecting you. It's affecting many lives.
I'm not sure the fun we had.
Well, you had fun until you became an insecure fucking asshole. You're a fucking asshole.
What did I do?
The whole fucking thing is you go. Yeah, because now you walk fucking 2 miles, you're fucking sober.
I don't know how far it was.
You know
It was
what?
over an hour.
Maybe you should see how you treat people when you're fucking drunk and the only thing you care about is going to buy your goddamn cigarettes and your eyes all crazy and they're fucking glassed over, and realize how you fucking treat people. Because this is the part that I want nothing to fucking do with you.
Shit, you snap out over fucking nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
You can't remember fucking your drunken highs. You don't know the difference between a drunken haze and reality. From this point on, I'm done. Go through your fucking rehab. Because every fucking word that comes out of your goddamn mouth is a goddamn drunken lie. So enjoy my place. I'm out. Fuck you.
Hey, don't forget your pie.
Get the fuck.
You don't want your pie?
Get the fuck.
Stop. You're not being.
Get the fuck
You're
away
not
from
being
me.
fair tonight.
Stay away from me.
I don't want you to leave.
Well, you know what? I don't want to be around someone that
I
doesn't
do.
get your
Don't
hands.
leave.
Get your hands off
Just
me.
sit and talk. Don't leave.
Get
sit.
your hands off me.
I don't want you to leave.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's not your option. Go
Look,
fuck
we've been
yourself.
talking today and trying to work
Really?
shit out. So don't leave.
There's no working shit out with you. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck out of my life. I wish you were dead.
Going through this with my kids, my wife. If I was that, I wouldn't believe in me. I'd wait to see the outcome. You know, I can, if I'm backed into a corner, I talk a pretty good fucking game to get out of it, and usually people fall for it. I find a way to sabotage myself. Just hoping, you know, I didn't do enough. I didn't do too much damage that I can't do it. You know, when I wrapped up counseling out in California with my wife, I mean, we had some of the best couple days we've ever had in our life together. And it was hard as you know, once I got back here and she went back to Colorado, it's like that distance increased and things changed. You know, we got into a fight and she told me, well, you're too needy, I can't talk with you, this and that. And I said shit that the sober me would have never, you know, never said or texted. I actually was surprised the fucking drunk me could spell and do all that shit, but it's, you know, not stuff I'm proud of. You know, I made a bunch of new friends and doctors and everything through this that, you know, if I was having a problem, I could have called. I didn't choose to reach out to any of them. You know, somebody sitting there, you know, on the other end of the phone saying, well, you know, you're doing a good job, don't drink and this and that. That doesn't fucking comfort or take away the feeling. And anyone who's ever drank to cover something up and fucking knows that. It doesn't cover up that feeling. The drinking numbs it out and I didn't have to worry about it. They have fucked me up because they made me measure everything and, you know, now that's in my head. No, the other night was hard. I went out and bought 2 liters of rum. And, you know, had the intent of, if I drink both of them, I don't have to wake up in the morning. And woke up, I had one hell of a fucking hangover, but you know, luckily nothing another bottle wouldn't fix. I would love to learn to moderate my drinking and hopefully, you know, through that minimize a lot of the problems in my life, but I don't know if I'll ever be moderate. I like getting fucked up. So I guess that's going to be the hard part with it, you know. But I think if I, you know, don't get the drinking under control, I'm going to lose my wife and kids. And if I haven't already.
A lot of people don't sign up for abstinence and don't want abstinence, and that's okay. You don't say, well, I won't treat you. There's a very big spectrum of drinking, and what you want to do is prevent people who are somewhere in the beginning parts or the middle from progressing to the end. If you don't think someone can moderate their use, you shouldn't say to them, I can teach you how to moderate your use. You'd say the safest, best prescription is abstinence. But if you want to do moderation management, it doesn't just mean you try to moderate. There's a whole technique. You monitor your drinking and you report back. The key is to get people the right medication, the right psychotherapy, to individualize it and put all of the treatment elements together. There's 3 FDA-approved pharmacotherapies for alcoholism, anabuse, acamprosate, and naltrexone. Anabuse, if you drink, makes you sick. So it pairs drinking with this aversive experience. It helps people stay sober. Acamprosate diminishes craving and insomnia associated with alcoholism. It helps people who are newly sober from being detoxified stay sober. Naltrexone can help people go from heavy problematic drinking to more moderate contained drinking, but they're only prescribed less than 0.5% of the time for the people that have alcoholism in America. Recovery isn't someone gets sober and stays sober forever. That's pretty rare. The majority of people will have relapses and slips, and rather than see that as a failure, it's usually the path towards recovery. That slips and relapses can be learning opportunities. The other mistake made in treatment is when the treatment is given, it's given in short-term bursts. A week of detox, a 1-month rehab. You'd never treat diabetes like that. You'd never take a diabetic and give them 3 days or a month of treatment and assume that they're okay. This is like any other chronic medical illness. It requires a long-term solution. The main problems for both men and women develop in the 30s and 40s. And that group of individuals, it's key to do something earlier on and to use all the tools that can help shift someone to using less or towards abstinence.
I write a blog called Mom Who Drinks and Cusses because, well, that's who I am, at least partly. The Mom Who Drinks and Cusses blog, I think it was my lifeline to the outside world. I would talk in my blog about how this is like one flew over the cuckoo's nest up in here. I got food flying around my head and screaming, and I haven't showered at 5 o'clock. And finally, when the husband comes home, you get to take a shower, and maybe you get to sit on your bed and drink a glass of wine. I've definitely used it as a coping mechanism. I know millions of women do it. Only a small percentage of us admit it. We all want to have control of ourselves. And I know my girlfriends, after they have too much, the next day they're like, okay, I'm not drinking for a whole week. I think it probably took me a couple decades to figure out my personal limit. I do not want to become an alcoholic, so I will do whatever I have to do to not get there. Through the blog, I found other moms who like to drink too, and I was glad to know that I wasn't the only one out there. So we just started doing a happy hour every Thursday. It's like a therapy session. It is good. I don't know what I'd do without my girlfriends now. We need each other. We get together and we drink wine, and I can't see it being any other way. I mean, I can't see us getting together and playing bingo. My girlfriends and I have a good time. But what do you do when one of your friends seems like they're losing control? And how do you know when things have gone too far?
There it is. I'm eating my salad like it's correct.
Oh, is someone wanting their bottles?
Yes.
But it's a different wine. Do they want to have in my glass? I think so, yeah.
What does it mean? It means
There. Hold on,
I typically don't eat because it messes up my buzz.
See,
That's why my friends are always going, well, you need to eat. Well, you need to eat.
Right. Noel is a sweet, good-hearted person, and I don't think she's drinking too much when she's drinking. It kind of just all of a sudden happens.
I drink because I enjoy cooking and drinking wine while I cook.
To have a glass of wine while you're cooking, to me, it's just relaxing.
I think you guys have just came up with this idea.
No,
that you guys, I'm going to pretend that I like food because that is a great excuse. Like, I'm like, fuck that. I'm a single mom. I am a ravioli in a can in a bottle, and I just drink.
Okay, so
I don't have anybody I have to impress.
It's enjoying life versus making it through life. And we enjoy life. She makes it through life.
She knows. I'm kidding. You are right. I'm kidding. Okay, so yesterday, I knew that Olivia was graduating from 5th grade and there was going to be a thing. And then my ex is sending me text messages about, okay, if our daughter doesn't wear a dress, she's going to lose 25% points off of her grade or whatever. And he was like, well, you know what? He goes, I think my 25-year-old girlfriend has a dress she can wear. I'm like, that's weird. All puts it goes downhill because it's kind of like I have the one glass and I know this isn't going to be great. And then I think, oh, I'll just have, and then I had another glass and then I had another, and then I had a bottle or whatever.
But you were apprehensive about it and you were nervous and insecure about it. And this was an excuse.
Yeah, and that's what happens. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to make Olivia's graduation. Could you cover for me? I texted him. I was like, I can't see you there with her and know that I'm going to this school where I have no friends. I had nobody to go with. I'll just get shit-faced or something.
Subconsciously.
Kind of. I suck. Who misses their fucking daughter's graduation? An asshole.
5th grade. I mean, who graduates in 5th grade?
Yeah, they have a graduation for every year.
They graduate from preschool. They graduate from kindergarten.
I just hated it.
I'm just not going to tell a grown woman what to do. So whatever her decisions are, I respect her autonomy. Sometimes she tries to keep her drinking in check, and sometimes she's just like, you know what, no holds barred.
Yeah. No, I think what I got tired of as far as parenting is like, it's like kind of having that question like, did I feed you dinner last night? And not really know it. Or like getting tired of my kids saying, Mom, you told you that, and like just hating.
That's why I'm not saying it's a problem, but I definitely feel like there's times when you need to check yourself, and that's one of them for me. Remember the beginning of the year, I went, hello, man.
I went 4 months.
So you feel like since you did that and you've gone back to it, that you have that in better check?
I feel like I failed at that. I failed. And so now I just give myself permission. I'm like, what the hell? Might as well drink at 11.
Oh, no, it's tough for you. Like, you need support groups for that. You know? We're the support group. Exactly. It's true. Cheers to everything.
Shut up. Wine to me means escape. I know without alcohol who I want to be. I want to be Oprah. I want to be Maya Angelou. I want to be amazing. I want to be a rock star. When I drink, I'm not that awesome. And I don't remember. I can't keep track of the girls' schedules, and I can't keep. And I'm stuck. I mean, honestly, I don't care whatever Ron is doing. Noel is stuck, and she's afraid of everything. I've asked my dad, my adoptive father, don't you want me to have my own gun? Because I live alone and I have 2 girls. And he was like, and my adoptive father, he's like, be afraid you use them yourself. And it's the smartest thing he's ever done.
No, where's this going?
I missed my daughter's graduation once. I would miss it. I don't know. When I woke up
But this morning I was hungover. Like I took 800 milligrams of ibuprofen a couple of times. And what do I do the next day? Damage control. I go back and apologize, and I'll delete text. I'll just delete it. That didn't happen. I just feel full of shame or embarrassment. I reach a point where I don't remember. I want to say I black out. I don't like that word. You would think I would stop.
Olivia, do you know of anything we need from the grocery store other than everything? What about snacks, close snacks? Do you think we need more? Or not more, but like something else? Probably. And we need another dinner idea. How about soup? How about kale and white bean soup? Okay. Sounds healthy. All right. You think we're good for the week? I can always go back to the store. But yeah. Okay. You go to your dad's store and you have something.
Drinking impacts my relationship with my kids. I want to be able to moderate. I want to be able to function. I don't feel like I'm doing a very good job at functioning right now. I don't think I want to be completely sober. Like I don't. It's frustrating because I fall back. I'm noticing now that I just start drinking earlier.
It's a church. My house is an example of my mind. Okay.
Over the last 3 months, I feel like I've lost the drive to want to quit drinking, like the motivation to quit. I know that there are things out there. I don't do any of it. I stay in this negative, I'm here because of Olivia and Ava. But when I look to the future, there's nothing. I want it to be a role model for my girls instead of them parenting me. Sometimes that's what it feels like. The message to my girls is that I'm not a drunk and that I do have good qualities. I just want them to see me go to work. I don't want them to see me lay in bed.
I do think over the summer, Noel's drinking maybe progressed. I think maybe she's kind of just, put no limits on herself and hasn't tried to moderate. Like last year it was kind of like, I'm going to have 2 glasses of Pinot Grigio and that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes she would succeed, but now she doesn't really try to do that. We know that she's depressed the next day or whatever it is. And we just we maybe sit on her porch and talk to her. But you know what? It doesn't really make anything happen. I mean, you can only do that for so long. So I think we've all been just sitting around hoping it would go away. And I feel like that was kind of negligent. Wait, Kate, let's just do this. Awesome. My husband told me I'm not going to go anywhere because I'm going to the house and I'm not going anywhere. It still has a bubbly.
Look at that little hole is for in the bottom. That is sexy.
Okay, so Noel and I talked today. She's decided to do something really kind of exciting.
What are you going to do? Sex change.
You and the baby. No, wait.
You guys will still. Okay, anyway, okay, no, really. I beat myself up about drinking. I like my alcohol. Rhonda has found somebody to help me with moderation. I want to be able to drink. I want to be able to go and have.
Okay, so it's not an all or nothing thing.
No,
It doesn't make you feel like
moderation management. It's not an all or none. It's a different theory. Is that what you thought? We're not letting you talk. Like,
I didn't know it existed until I kind of came across it. I didn't know it existed, and I'm like, that's what if and when I got to that point, that's what I would want. I mean, because as we all know, I don't want to stop drinking, and if there, I mean, maybe it'll work, but it's worth a shot. Absolutely.
My attitude is that it absolutely will work. Like
that's awesome.
I really do.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is that you're excited about it.
Yeah. I always love Noel no matter what. I'm always concerned about driving cars. I'm concerned about her laying in bed and being depressed all day. Alcohol does not help that. So maybe if she gets this in check, that other stuff can be worked out. And of course, I'd love to be able to go sit on her porch and still have a glass of wine. Go to a restaurant and not worry, how's she going to get home? You know, is anything bad going to happen? We may or may not stay really close friends. I don't know. But as long as she's okay, that's fine.
This is a good night. Get your glass up. Put your glass up.
Noel and I don't want to stop drinking. We just want to keep eating dessert.
Sometimes people do ask me when a woman should start to become concerned about her drinking. I like to say that it's when alcohol becomes her friend, the thing that she turns to relieve her stress, to numb her pain. Because when alcohol becomes a friend, it's firmly on the path to becoming a partner. And as a partner, it's poisonous. In the evolution of problem drinking, there's a progression from liking alcohol to wanting it, craving it, to needing it. When you start to use it to cope with stress and to feel better about your problems, it may develop into a habit. Then we're on that slippery slope where we could go on to develop an alcohol use disorder. You find yourself in this sort of vicious loop. But depression and anxiety are making the drinking worse. The drinking is increasing the depression and anxiety. In a blackout, alcohol disrupts normal neurotransmission so that we lose awareness of what's going on in our physical environment and don't remember what happened to us during that particular time. And of course, that places us at very high risk for so many unwanted consequences. It's very difficult to know exactly how much you're drinking when you're out in public. A single serving of alcohol is 12 ounces of beer, or 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of liquor. But a server may bring you a drink that actually contains the alcohol equivalent of 2 or 3 drinks. So you think that you've had 1 drink, when in fact you've consumed 3. And over an evening of drinking, that can really add up. The timing of intervention does matter. If we wait until later in the course of the disease, it's harder to stop drinking. The longer you're drinking, the greater the likelihood that you're going to experience withdrawal symptoms, and that those withdrawal symptoms are going to be severe.
It's actually sad. It's all about a drink, brother. It's all about one drink. It's a horrible addiction, and it doesn't go away. Ah, shit. I'm going to die. I grew up in a nice upper middle class family. My mother didn't have to work. My dad made good money. I worked for the government, had a good retirement. I was a Boy Scout, Cub Scout, safety patrol, all the regular things, went to college. I was 35, my son was born, 39, my daughter was born. I have a good relationship with my wife. I want people to think I'm a nice person, and I just have this problem, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I started drinking probably when I was 14. I've gone through treatment, I've gone to meetings. It's so hard to beat. I'm working a part-time job at a grocery store. That's all I've been able to get. I have to drink. And so I come out to the car and drink. See the shaking? The drinking pretty much has to do now with DTs. And if I don't drink, I'll start shaking. For a long time, I thought it was some kind of palsy, but no, it's from drinking, and I can't keep still unless I drink. It's not just shaking; it's sweating and cramps, hurting. It's a nightmare, and I call it Groundhog Day because it's the same thing every day. It's awful. I had my own business. I was making about $130,000 a year. And then the downturn, people left. Customers left. Then I went off the deep end. I just started drinking really hard. And I was playing in a band for 9 years. I'm actually a great guitar player. And they kicked me out for drinking. It's the worst of the worst. It's very painful to everybody. Nothing. My wife, my kids. I'm going to the hospital to detox so I can get through this nightmare. I just can't live like this anymore. My wife, Kenzie, stuck by me through all of it. That's the caliber of woman she is.
Come on. We don't want to lose your job.
I'm
have to fall out of the car.
Put some toothpaste in your mouth. And it's good. Still got some toothpaste in your pocket. Let's go in and finish this gig up, and then we'll go home and get ready to go to the hospital.
Let's just close it up and let me go. I'm dying. I feel like absolute shit. Hopefully, this is my last one.
I met him at church, and we started seeing each other, and I mean, we just clicked just right away.
Like that night, just, boom.
He's just funny. He has a deadpan face, but he's pretty funny. We've been married not quite 5 years. We knew each other a few years before that. We got married at the church, and Neal's 2 children were in the wedding. He was a great father. He used to take a blow dryer and blow dry the kids' sheets so they would be warm when they got in the bed. He told me that all he ever wanted to do was to be married. And have children. And that's all he's ever wanted to do. That's what's so difficult to go through this. It makes you wonder, why is he drinking and why is he doing this when he has had a great life and he can continue to have a great life because he has people that love him and need him to be sober. I think back, to the person that I fell in love with, and I want that man back so badly, so badly.
That's it. Last hurrah.
Ready? Let's go.
We'll get you taken care of, okay?
My legs are shaking. My whole body's shaking. I'm afraid to let me walk, so I have to use a bed pan and everything. I'll just walk through it and it'll slowly go away. Once the shaking and all that goes away, that's when they'll call it detox.
Did they tell you what your blood alcohol level was? 0.32. How much time was it that you had your last drink?
Just for the day.
You were here back in 2013 and then again in 2012. Do you remember any of those admissions?
In 2013, I think they brought me by ambulance. I had an episode where I bought too much alcohol and I couldn't do it.
The fact that you have withdrawal symptoms or you're still with alcohol in your system, it's only going to get worse as the alcohol starts leaving your system and starts off with shakes, your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, can start seeing things, having hallucinations, and then it can progress where you have respiratory collapse and you can die. I've had a patient die from it, from DTs.
We have medications that can relieve some of those problems.
Oh, we can ease you through this right now. If I have any other questions, I'll come back. I know where to find you. All right, dear. See you later. My concern with this patient is we can get him through this dangerous time with the alcohol withdrawal, but he's got a larger problem at hand that detox is not curing his alcoholism. He's in a great deal of denial about how bad his problem is and how much control over his life the beer and the booze have taken. I've seen patients who have had alcohol-induced dementia who have completely cooked their livers and their nervous system where they can't walk anymore. They need transplantation, but their alcoholism prevents it. He's at a point where he needs to make a decision, or it's going to be made for him. If he doesn't get help, he'll die.
Joshua, we getting ready to go to the zoo?
What?
Getting ready to go to the zoo? All right, let's go. I feel good. I'm just glad that I'm pretty much 100% all the time. All right. Can you see the giraffe and the monkey? See? I feel like I could handle the things I thought I could handle back in my 20s and 30s. Managing people and being able to focus on work and finish problems and everything, not just get them out of the way so I can go have a drink. I guess throw them in, buddy. Good. I mean, the downtime is bad, but I can always go get Joshua. We'll go to the park. We'll go do something. Joshua, there's seals over here. You want to see? I feel like I'm getting the second chance, especially with Joshua.
There it is. There he is. There he is. That's a good move.
It's just like reliving the best parts of my life with my son. See how small it looks coming up? Look on the water. So one thing I did learn from some of the different things that I went to, sessions and things like that, is when you want to drink, visualizing what you're missing, like taking my daughter to see something, that she'd like to go see, and not going there and just wanting to see how many beers I could sneak off and buy. If I feel really great and jacked up, that's when I feel like having a drink. When I slip, I can't really remember exactly what went through my mind. All of a sudden, I'm drinking. It's just like a magnet pulls you there. What happened is I could not stop drinking. It's a chronic disease, and I don't know how to beat it. I'm going to a treatment center. Maybe this will be my last sip. I'm going to go back again and try to live a regular life.
I can tell he's really upset this time because he's afraid he's not going to have need to come back to, because he knows I've been through the mill with him, and he's going to have to concentrate on himself. He's going to have to do what it takes to stay sober. I just can't keep doing this. Can't.
What did Joshua say?
You've got to get out of here. Come on, get up.
If anything I say My 4-year-old son is saying, what is my grandson? It's going to be a rough ride to the airport. Seriously.
With him drinking vodka day in and day out, it makes his muscles weak, or he cannot lift himself up off the ground. I mean, he's fallen down so many times. I mean, just for this weekend, he's fell down 3 times, and his son had to pick him up off the floor. I have to clean up after him like a baby. He's so drunk. I beat him because I know he needs to eat. He'll even throw up right after he eats. I mean, it's just awful.
Oh, no. You're going to hold me, right? Okay. I should grab something. Just savor some of me.
This is the next thing. He's going to go back to 35-day rehab, and he's going to go do a halfway house. And if this doesn't do the trick for him, nothing will. And this is my last hope right here, and I will have to give up.
The person who's reached the stage of physical dependence has overwhelmed their brain's emotional systems. So the reason they can't stop is because they can't stop. It's the only relief they get from the terrors that are unleashed by not drinking. So one of the most important things about excessive drinking is that it changes your brain. And that's the basis for all the other problems. The first change is that you lose reward function in your brain. So your reward transmitters are just not working right. And as you keep drinking, you gain activity in your brain stress systems. But an even more insidious part of this picture is that you lose the ability of your frontal cortex to work properly. And your frontal cortex is the part of your brain that makes you who you are. It's the part of our brain that we use to make decisions, choices, delay reinforcement. If you're losing that part of your brain, then you have no brake on impulsive behavior and stress-like responding. And that promotes this vicious cycle where you end up drinking to fix the problem that the drinking caused. These are changes that are very, very difficult to reverse. The brain does not grow back new neurons, but there is a way that the brain can strengthen other pathways that are already there. But it takes a long time, it takes a major effort, and it takes complete abstinence. So what exactly does recovery look like in a person with a severe alcohol use disorder? Well, for the most part, it looks like a major effort to restructure your life without alcohol. How do you do that? Well, there are multiple ways, and many people use all of the multiple ways. You can join Alcoholics Anonymous. You can join a support group that doesn't involve Alcoholics Anonymous. You can go to a counselor and receive cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps you deal with stressors and builds resilience for situations that are going to tempt you to drink. There are some medications that will help you along the way. The real issue is that your whole life has to change. So an individual like this will probably have to be supervised for a long time to come by some family member or loved one or some group, because alcohol is killing them.